Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC and your daily reminder that the Reds are Premier League champions. A 2-2 draw with Arsenal yesterday, a game overshadowed by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent was brought on for Connor Bradley, who'd gotten the start, and his introduction was met with boos. Every time he touched the ball, then for the next few minutes, it was met with boos. And then after the game, he was once again booed. Now, look, there's been loads of takes on this. There's been people using this as an opportunity to just have a go at Liverpool fans. There's been people obviously very supportive of the decision some people made to boo him. And by some, I do mean a lot. There's been people that have come out and said, look, I was at the game, I didn't boo, but I don't have a problem with those that did. There's others that have said they did boo, they don't have a problem with people who didn't. And I think that's the right way to look at it. Like, this is a personal thing. This is you having the opportunity to vent your own feelings on the matter. And I saw someone say this, I can't remember the name of the guy I saw say this. They were like, this is the opportunity people have to let Trent know how they feel. Because it's not like they're going to bump into him down the shops. This was their opportunity to let him know that they feel let down by him. And I don't think he would have any right to complain about fans booing him, considering how he's conducted himself over the last number of years, considering how he's gone about manufacturing this move to Real Madrid for himself. And I don't, I've spoken about how I feel about him going to Real Madrid. And I don't begrudge the fella the move. I begrudge him the move in this manner. If he had signed a 1-year extension with an agreement that he could go for even something like 50 million, if that could have been agreed in advance, even agreed with Real in advance, that there was going to be a Real Madrid clause and he could go for 50 million quid, and then so be it. Or, maybe not a 1 year, maybe it would have been a 2 or 3 year deal, but he could go to Real Madrid this summer for 50 million or next summer for 50 million. I think that would have been fine. I think everybody would have understood that. It's the way he's gone about it. It's the public comments he's made about, not wanting it to play out in public, while at the same time, very clearly playing it out in public. And everybody at this stage knows that his brother's been walking around telling people he's Trent McManaman for a year and a half at this stage. A year and a half. Like, that's how long this has been in the works. And the fact that we know he was talking to Real Madrid behind Liverpool's back for that long, the fact that he was seen signing Real Madrid jerseys last summer, like, all of that plays into why people are rightly annoyed with him. And the funniest part of the whole thing, though, is the attempts to take the moral high ground by Manchester United fans and Arsenal fans. So Arsenal, this is the club who booed Granit Xhaka when he was their captain, who booed Emmanuel Abue so much that he ended up in tears on the pitch one day, who booed and pushed out of the club the greatest manager they ever had. What world do these people live in that they think they've got some sort of moral superiority on us? This is a group of fans who week in and week out support the unnamed 31-year-old Premier League footballer. And by the way, it was tremendous to see every touch of his booed yesterday. That should happen at every single ground. Then you've got Manchester United fans. They booed Harry Maguire when he was their club captain. Only this season, they booed Josh Zirkzee, who's a young kid that came to the club in the summer and is still trying to find his way in the Premier League. He had a rough start to life in England, and they booed him. So who are they to suggest that we can't boo Trent? And like I say, if you went and you booed, great. If you went and you didn't boo, great. You have the right to make a decision. You've paid your money to get into that stadium. And therefore, as long as it's not crossing any boundaries, you have the right to sit there and boo. You absolutely do. And I noted the onslaught from certain patch journalists, two in the Echo, one who's actually not a patch journalist anymore. He used to write for the Daily Mail as the Merseyside reporter. Now he's a horse racing journalist. So what he's got to do with anything, I don't know, because I'm fairly certain he's an Evertonian. These people think that they can come out and say that Liverpool fans embarrassed themselves? Like, what? In what way did they embarrass themselves? In what way did they embarrass themselves at all? Quite the opposite. They showed yesterday that Anfield will support you, but that support is not unconditional. And that when you turn your back on Anfield, Anfield will turn its back on you. So for Ian Doyle and Paul Gorst and Dominic King, three terrible sets of lads, to come out like that, you'd wonder, were they maybe asked to do it by Trent's team? Because nobody from the club has come out and admonished the fans. When players were asked about it, they said the fans can feel how they feel. Arne Slot said he wasn't going to tell people how to feel. But these journalists, who are, none of them are very good at their jobs, they've decided that they can tell fans how to feel. It's a strange thing. It really is. Rio Ferdinand is the funniest one of all, though. Let's ignore what he did in his private life, because that's his private life. Let's just look at his public life. Rio Ferdinand was at West Ham, came through their academy, pushed his way out the door, first chance he got, to go to Leeds. And then from Leeds, pushed his way out the door to go to their most bitter rivals, Manchester United. And this guy wants to talk about loyalty. Absolutely baffling stuff. This guy has no clue about loyalty. But he wants to lecture others. It's the bizarrest thing. And then you've got that Adrian Durham fella on TalkSport, who is probably most famous for absolutely soiling himself when Jamie Carragher called him up one day and invited him to visit him at Melwood and called him a coward to his face after Durham had called him a coward on national radio. Other than that, I don't think anybody would know who he is, because, like, who listens to TalkSport other than people who read The Rag? Because that's what it is. It's The Rag in audio form. It's dreadful. It could be great. It has the potential to be great. But they employ brainless twats who are basically there just for clickbait and controversy. If you want to boo a Liverpool player and that player has given you reason to boo them, the way Trent has, there's no issue. If you decide not to boo, again, there's no issue. That's your choice. You're fully in your rights to make it. And to be clear, there were people that when Trent came on, greeted him, in a positive manner. And again, that's absolutely fine. These people have the right to do that. That's their right because they paid their money to get in. I thought it was notable that Szoboszlai was, trying to get the cop to back off Trent afterwards. And I saw some people having a go at Szoboszlai. But again, if we don't want others telling us as fans how to feel, we therefore can't tell the players how to feel. Because the players are friends with Trent. So they view it in a different manner. And a player like Szoboszlai, who he's Hungarian. He joined the Red Bull organization quite young. He went to Liefering, he went to Salzburg, he went to Leipzig, and then he's come to Liverpool. Like, he doesn't have that same connection that you would have hoped an academy graduate would have, because he didn't come through our academy, and the academy he did come through is set up to sell players. It doesn't exist to create players who are going to spend their entire careers in the Red Bull organization. So it's hard for a player like Dom, who doesn't have the skin in the game, to really grasp why the fans are so upset. And it is disappointing that he's leaving. Of course it is. There's also something about it that can be a big positive, because, look, I've said it for years. When Trent wants to defend, he's an above-average defender. He's not a good defender, but he's an above-average defender when he's locked in and he wants to defend. The issue so often with Trent is he just doesn't want to do it. And therefore, his teammates have had to carry him in that regard quite a lot. There's an opportunity here to ensure that that doesn't happen anymore. Now, not if we sign someone like Jeremy Frimpong, but if we go and sign a solid defensive right back, or just a right back who's solid defensively and is willing to defend, then that can be taken away. Yes, you won't replace what Trent can do in terms of his passing, but there are opportunities to get a different type of right back in there, who maybe offers something different on the ball, which, while maybe not as elite level, can be just as effective. So there's potential here for us to have some addition by subtraction. Because for all the great that Trent offered, you always were trying to carry a little bit of water for him off the ball when he wasn't in the mood, which was a lot in the last number of years.
All right, the Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts and even Liverpool legends along the way, with the Great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at AnfieldIndexPro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that, from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.